WFTV, Monday night kōrero, and we're just going to be reviewing the game from the weekend, Warriors versus the Knights, and leading into doing a bit of a preview at the end of the Warriors playing the Cowboys. But before we get into it, just want to introduce our two guests for tonight. One of the bros is jumping on a bit later, but Tans is always one of the OGs, and we have the miracle. I think I've said that word wrong, but fuck it. Matt Thurston from our Cowboy supporter. He's been on the channel before, so welcome, Matt. It's awesome to have you on board, brother.
Cheers for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So like, heading into Magic Round. Are you going to any of the games, bro?
Nah. Working all weekend, so it's meant to be rain all weekend too. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently
raining.
We'll see.
Oh wow, that's.
Yeah, they kind of almost plays into our hands because
I think so.
Tans mentioned it before, the whole we've turned into a wet weather team.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. The chat. Sorry, bro, got the chat thing on.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Oh yeah, see. If the boys jump on, I'll put the chat thing back on. But anyway, the weekend. The Knights game. I don't know how your Anzac Day went for you, Matt. But it was we have our dawn services over here. I took my young fella to the one in Palmerston North in Palmy.
Yep.
And they always get really good numbers, so always a good way to kind of kick off Anzac Day. Was it big where you were, and even where you were, Tom?
Townsville's the biggest defence town in Australia. So,
wow.
It's massive here. We're a big army town, so it's very, very big up here.
Sure. How about you, Tons? Busy Anzac Day?
No, not at all. I just kicked back at home, and pretty much done absolutely nothing.
Relax, nice.
Yeah.
Oh shucks. Okay, we've got some of the brothers sharing. Oh shit. Sorry guys. Again, has that come up on your screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
the
yeah,
comments, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jacko, kia ora, all smiles tonight, eh? Yeah, of course we got smiles tonight, bro. Yeah.
BTGT, Michael.
Yeah. There's a few.
Great New Zealand G. Oh, hey Dom. Rockstar Lexi, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. It's nice to see all of you in the chat.
Sure. Yeah, welcome, fellas. Welcome to tonight. Let's get into it, eh? Friday night. Warriors playing the Cowboys at Apollo Project Stadium in Christchurch. Shout out to the Cantabrians. Because they're like, before we even get into it, the crowd was mean as, and like, no doubt you've seen this as well, Matt. But I guess outside of Auckland, when the Warriors are playing like in Wellington, Christchurch, some of the smaller towns, they always get the good numbers. But those Cantabs turned up in force Friday night. So and they were cranking. They were cranking all night.
Yeah, they were loud, singing. Good on them.
Yeah. It was mean as. It was mean as.
For the boys.
Yeah. And I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Dave from Point of Difference Rugby League. He does a show. He's interviewed old Kiwis, old Warriors, old Cantabrians, and all leagueies, and they're like, he's got a mean show, and like I've tuned in a couple of times and just kind of love his content, and he's just he's actually from the Waikato, moved down to Christchurch, and Christchurch is his home now, but he's doing a mean job. But just shout out to the bro Dave and the show, and to the Cantabs, you guys. Like when Savage came out and he'd done his thing, he was kind of cracked me up because he was hyping them up big time, and everyone's into it kind of thing. So good on him. The the game. Did you see the game, Matt?
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think, my bro?
Two sides of the thing. I think Warriors carved up, to be honest.
Okay, true.
And I think the Knights are probably looking at one of the teams that's going to be right down at the bottom at the end of the year. They just look so lost.
Yeah.
I think it was a good game. Good seeing your boys like Jackson Ford. He got a double, I think it was. And
yeah, bro.
Played well. Metcalf played strong after, the week before where he missed all those kicks, but got the one that counted. It would have done him a bit of good to get more than one conversion over. But, another thing, the sin bins, we talk about that for every game.
Yeah, bro.
It's a joke, but
Yeah.
go away. So I think, you guys had a good win. I think the scoreboard was probably nicer to the Knights than it should have been. Should have been probably 26-6 or something like that. The last off, but
but both teams had 2 tries disallowed on both sides. Mana wave, my bro. Mana wave. Don't forget the wiggle. But and they were it was interesting because I done a count back, and in regards to penalties and 6 against, there was only 7 penalties awarded in the first half and 2 6 against, and there was only 1 penalty in the second half and 1 6 again. So Raymond, Wyatt Raymond, the ref, he was going hard first half, and then he kind of eased off a bit. Second half, it was kind of like, okay, interesting. And just in regards to those penalties, 5 of the penalties went to the Knights in the first half. 2 went to us. 4 6 against went to them in the first half, and 2 6 against to us in the first 40. Second 40, they got the only penalty, and we got the only 6 again. So it kind of like it was. When I done the count back, it was just like, wow, that's interesting, because he, Marata in that first minute or two, whatever it was, the shoulder charge. And I think it was Ty. Ty had posted on our little group chat earlier today. There was something like 18 sin bins across the round.
Yeah, 28. I think it was 28 put on report or something, and 18 sin bins.
And it's like, it's, and if you haven't seen it yet, Joey Johns blowing up about the, in regards to the officiating and the sin binning and like that. It's for me, I'm kind of in 2 minds, because it's kind of like, this was always coming. The NRL have been masters at being able to dodge this bullet for so long. This is one of those things that's this is what's fucked Super Rugby. The officiating leading more and more into the whole penalising any sort of headshot, whatever. And it's finally kind of made an appearance in the NRL, but it's made a real statement from the weekend.
But the weekend was a piss take, though. I mean, I think, like they talk about these mitigating factors. And I'm like, well, what are these mitigating? I assume that if a player's upright, the ball carrier, if he's upright, and the defender goes in upright and, puts his shoulder in or whatever, and there's direct contact there, I thought that was a bin. But, if someone's slipping, if the ball runner's slipping, and that the defender's already committed to making a tackle, so he's going in full tit, and if that ball carrier starts falling, I don't know what the defenders are meant to do, because, I mean, it's physics. You can't, in a split second, change your trajectory, if that's the right word. But anyway, they have to work on it. It's something that needs to be sorted out. I think I'm going to watch it after this, but apparently Andrew is on.
Oh, he's on tonight. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's on. Is it NRL on 9 or something?
100% footy, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
It's on later on tonight.
I
agree with that. The slipping over thing. A lot of them happen with the player slipping down, and then also a lot happen with the contact coming off the ball, hitting the ball, going up. It's like you said, you could see it coming. It's
heck yeah.
But they need to. I mean,
no common sense.
I think players are trying. Like I was watching the games on the weekend, and there's a lot of players like that are going down low and doing a lot of league tackles now. But I think if they're saying head contact, then it should only be head contact that's sin binnable. But some of them are just hanging around here, and I don't think coming up around here is worth a sin bin.
Yeah, and I guess it's the type of contact when you guys are getting hit with forearms, not just the shoulders, but forearms or or even the bashing heads kind of thing, which can be quite accidental in itself, but it's like, yeah, where do you draw the line? Because it's very much is going to change the fabric of the game in regards to big hitters, guys like Warrior Hargraves, even Sonny Bill back in the day. Those kind of hits and stuff are almost like a bygone era. You just can't risk going out there wanting to level some guy because all it takes is a tap to the head. Flip side, if it is a genuine HIA and they're gone, then it's like, well, okay. So
if it's direct contact and the offenders and they put them in the bin for 10 minutes, because I thought when this crackdown first came out, they said that if the guy gets sent to the sin bin, then the player should go off for an HIA. If the contact's that bad, well, they should be, shouldn't they? Otherwise, why get sent to the bin if the player's not going off for an HIA? I mean, I saw one on the weekend that was definitely worth a sin bin, and that was Sitili Tupanua leading with his knee. I thought that was bad.
Oh, yeah. And he hit him twice. So that was that was pretty heavy.
Bin for that one, or was it just report for that one and bin for tackle?
I think he's got 5 weeks anyway. I know that. 3 weeks for 1, 2, but then you get the Montoya one. I'm like, what for slapping the guy? And it was like he just patted him on the head. But anyway, it is what it is. We can leave it to the rest of the
you can
exactly, Jacko. Yeah,
it won't be going away anytime soon. And it's it's just the way the NRL are heading. And I guess when you're stepping away from the game, it's the they just don't want to get all these fucking lawsuits. At the end of the day, that's what the crux of it is, where these ex-players, NRL players, Super League players, whatever, ex-internationals, and the amount of head trauma that they've suffered. And there's been no there's been no support for them outside of the game. And it's kind of like, bro, that was eventually going to come around sooner or later. And it's kind of like, it's here now. What are the NRL going to do about it? They need to be seen being proactive.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I see that. But mate, it's Magic Round this weekend.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there's going to be a line. There's going to be a line to go into the sin bins if they're not careful. Some teams probably won't even be able to field a decent, like a 17 of their bloody top players.
But
anyway,
I can see you, little man there, Matt. Right. Sorry, Tons, what was that?
No, I like Mudita's sin bin, but even when the crackdown first started, I was like, bro, Mudita's definitely going to go to the bin at some point. At some point, he'll go to the bin, and he did. But
well, thankfully, it was early.
I don't want to throw shade at Mudita because I actually think he's had a really good season so far. I think he's, compared to last season, I think he's doing really well, man. The lines he runs and just the contact he makes, I really like him this year. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Oh, and I think, to be fair, he's part of the leadership team, so I think, he did kind of drop off last year, but he's, and especially with Big Fish away for could be another 4 weeks, then those senior players, the emphasis really is on them, the likes of him, Kurt, they have to step up into these roles to show some leadership, show some guidance, and just take the reins and think, yep, follow me, boys. This is how we do it. Yeah, he gives away dumb penalties, Marata, but I was just glad he done it in the first minute because Leo Thompson followed him not long after. A couple of minutes later, he's in the bin. Just wait for Origin, sim bin every 5 minutes. And funny you should say that, GTGT, because I did notice, and it's not that I followed the entire games, but a lot of the feedback that we got from the Origin was that the refs were a lot more relaxed, and it's just like, okay. Again, it's no disrespect there, Matt, but for me, it's like those fucking Aussies. They relax the rules when it's their own when it's the pinnacle of their game that's on show. I'd love to see them relax the rules like that at internationals. Give it back to the Kiwis and the Kangaroos and the other.
No disrespect taken, so I'm a Kiwi anyway.
Oh yeah, true that.
I don't know. Like watching Game 3 last year, it was like the result didn't go Queensland's way, but the start, like the first 60 minutes of that game, were like free flowing, real tight contest, entertaining.
Yeah.
I'd hate for it to go how it is this year, and the first hit up's a sin bin because someone's hit someone.
Yeah. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me, bro, if the rules are actually relaxed. Come Origin, when that Origin window opens and the series kicks off, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a carbon copy of last year. The feedback and was it because the general feedback was the refs just let the game flow. And it's kind of like, why the fuck can't they do that during the season? Or in the internationals or whatever. It's kind of like.
I don't think we'll see a repeat of this weekend in Magic Round. I think there'll be less sin bins and less people on report because it's just too much stopping and starting in the game. And I don't think they stop the clock either when they're sending off a player to the bin. I mean, not that matters, but anyway, Michael's just saying this head high rule is killing the game and can't stand the 6 again. Neither can I, mate, especially when you're the defending team on your line and the other team's getting frickin' 5-6 agains. It's just ridiculous, mate. You can't defend for that long.
My thing with the 6 again is you'll be watching the game either live or on TV and you hear a 6 again gong and no one knows what it's for. The commentators are saying, this guy's in the ruck or whatever, or he's too slow. That's just, boom, there's a 6 again. They don't say, it'll say ruck infringement or something like that.
Yeah.
But, 9 out of 10 people watching it don't know what the hell they're doing.
I think they say some of them are for offside, but if you're defending on your line, mate, where do you want the players to go? Back in goal, in the in-goal area? It blows my mind because I'm just like, what was that for? Sorry, excuse me. But anyway, in regards to our game, I thought we were fantastic. I think as a team, that's probably one of the best games we've played this season. There was a lot of individual players that probably had their games of the season as well. And I think Luke Metcalf was one of those. Kurt Catewell, he was good. Jackson Ford is my MVP. The guy went out there, 2 tries, no errors, and 26 tackles for no misses, for 0 misses. And I thought that was just awesome, man.
Barney was working hard on defense. Yeah. He was making real statements about just getting in there, smashing them. But he was hunting all night, and it was just like, mate. But just leading the way, and it was like, and he pretty much played like that, especially on defense. Like, I love it when Barney, because again, like Marata and Kurt and the other seniors, they have to step up while Big Fish is away. Jacko, it's either here or hit it. Sorry if I've said it wrong, bro. Jacko is the man. Yeah, I got a lot of love for Jackson Ford. He, I don't think he dropped the ball once. And he's notorious for doing it at least once or twice in that game. But it was his 50th A, so he kind of stepped up for the occasion. But just he's a grinder. He just gets stuck in kind of thing.
I don't think Jackson Ford made an error for the first three or even 4 games. Yeah, but there's heaps to be positive about. I mean, there were, I think, 5 or 6 players that had 0 misses. So we got CNK, 6 tackles, 0 misses. Luke Metcalf, even 20 tackles, 0 misses. Egan, 43, 0 miss. Ford, 26, 0 miss. Barney, 33, and Laban. Laban also didn't have any missed tackles. Berry, on the other hand, missed 7, but I'm honestly wondering if that's because blood was pouring down his face and he couldn't see anybody.
And he got that from tackling Greg Marju. So when Marju went in and scored, he must have his face must have caught his cleats, because his face was a mess after that. It was just like, oh damn.
Well, I'm amazed the ref didn't make him go off and get bandaged up at that point. I actually thought that was quite bad of the ref to not, blow time and let him get his head bandaged up, because I think the week prior to that I saw RCG, the ref sent him from the field to go and get his nose sorted out. But anyway, that was just an observation. And we had like 10 players that made no errors. So we had CNK, Ford, Barney, Catewell, New Corday, even though he got sin bin. So I found that weird on the stat sheet. Clark, Lecker, Bunty, Demi, and Laban, all 0 errors. And we only had 9 errors total in the game.
Yeah, that's pretty stylish. Sorry, I just want to answer Jose. Real, did anyone guess 26-12? No, the closest was, and I'll apologize now if I say this wrong, but Nalin Sink got 28-12 to the Waz. So
wow,
well done, bro.
Almost spot on.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So that was and then Jazz came in second with 22-12. So nice. some pretty not bad predictions there. Adam Pompey's first try was a nice one. Just that one-on-one. Yeah. But that James Schillinger, whatever his name, Schiller, he had a shocker. I felt sorry for that fella. He just like if he wasn't dropping it, he was just butterfingers, and I was just like, holy shit.
And then he gets smoked. For any of the high ball or anything, they're just letting it fall and just
exactly. Bro.
I think it's sad, man. I actually felt for them. I was like, man, like, yeah, it's sad. No, only because you want, like, I don't, of course I want to win all the games, but it's just when you see a team that's really struggling to kind of put anything together, it's like, bro, like, yous are so bad to watch, and people don't want to watch it.
And do you think Dylan Brown's going to fix that team?
Oh, definitely not, mate. No.
Don't know, bro. Yeah,
I do think Jack Cogger made a huge difference for them, though. I think he made a huge difference. I don't know why he had Tyson Gamble in the halves. I just don't think he's a half. But I also thought that it was quite obvious how we're changing up our attack a lot in this game, which was really good to see.
I thought our kicks were a lot better.
But did you notice that Chanel was doing a lot of the kicking? That's what I noticed. I thought Chanel was doing a lot of the kicking, which allowed Metcalf to just, play, just to run with the ball. And he was really good. Except for, like, I really want him to work on that kicking game of his, the conversions. Like, it needs to be taken care of. Yeah, because he even missed, and I know people might think, 2's not much, but when you put it together with the 5 the week before and the couple the week before that, it's just like, come on, bro, you got to tidy that up, man.
I heard a good reply to that on another podcast, and it was like, because everyone's been pulling him up about it, but one of the replies was, we're in the top 4. You can't argue with that. It's like, if he was kicking like that and we were in the bottom 4, or not where we are, kind of like right here, right now, it's like, we hopefully it doesn't come back and bite us in the ass end of the season. But if Uncle's true to form, Luca or Luke Metcalf, he's gonna be his number one until he either gets injured or I can't see him losing that spot just yet.
No,
it's a bit tough too, though. He's following in the footsteps of a pretty good goal kicker, Sean Johnson. So.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I think he's going to be a great I do. I think he had a fantastic game, and he's going to be a good fullback or even a good halfback or even a great one. And I'm not saying far. I'm just saying he needs to work on his conversions. That's it. The rest of his game's fine. Also just figuring out whether to run or pass. But bro, when we're going up against other teams or when we're in the fight, like we were against Brisbane, man, those conversions will matter then. Those 2 points will matter then. And I was just hoping that we'd wipe that deficit. But all goods. But yeah.
I was going to say too, like in regards to Luke's bombs, especially in the first half, like a couple of the Knights players, when they put pressure on him, he just kind of like pushed them off. He was like, "Fuck off," whatever. But I did notice he done that to everyone except Leo. Leo done it to him, and like Leo kind of charged him after the kick, but Luke was just like, "No, all good, bro." he didn't challenge him or nothing, and Leo kind of charged him down a couple of times. But there were like other players doing it to him, and Luca was pushing them back, like "fuck off," whatever.
Oh, what about the try saver on Marjou? I mean, that was that was mean. But like I said, I noticed. So actually, Luke Metcalf, if we're still deep in our half, he'll take the kick. But if we're closer up to our line, then CHT will take it, and it seems to be working out really well. And they're only going to learn by playing together, and that's the only way they're going to gel and and create.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. One of the penalties that we did give away was for no halfbacks. Like the ref had told us to prep for the line, and we were on our goal line. We were probably 5 meters out, whatever. And he'd warned the Warriors, no halfback, you need to get in here. And the clock was like that green clock was counting down, and then he pinged us. And I was, on review, I was watching that thinking, was that intentional? Did the boys give away the penalty?
Bro. Yes, bro. Exactly what I was thinking, because I was like, how did you not pick? But I reckon they did it. I reckon it was intentional for the fact that they could set their defensive line.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon, because I was even thinking exactly the same thing. I was like, why wouldn't they? Because they didn't look bothered.
Pretty much ignored the ref. Yeah,
they just didn't look bothered. When they got the penalty, they were just like, sweet. But so I definitely 100% agree with you. I think it was intentional so they could set the defensive line.
Yeah, just something I noticed on review. Seen it the first time, and I was just like, hey, what was that about? Because again, if that's one of those new rules about you got to have a halfback in that vicinity around the scrum, whatever, I was just like, because anyone could be the halfback. They generally swap the second rows of centres or whatever now, or get the fullback at the back of the scrum to set the D line. But it was just when the ref called that and then pinged us, I was like, no, I reckon they done that on purpose. But
I'm not sure. I might be wrong here, but when we went to half time, it might have been Anthony Gelling. One of the commentators said, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but did I hear them say that we only missed 7 tackles in that first half?
Oh, wow.
I don't
know. I didn't count them.
Good question, Emmanuel. I think, so what happens to Tane and Pompey when everyone's fit again? I think Tane will drop back to New South Wales Cup, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It gives him time to really perfect his craft. And with Pompey, I was thinking about that earlier today, and I reckon they might keep him in the centres just as a backup kicker, just in case Luke has a bad game again. And I think, and to be totally honest, I think Berry does need to have a couple more games in Cup because he seems a bit, he's not up to his levels, and that's understandable. He's only had two games back in first grade, but that's what I'm thinking. That I think maybe Pompey will drop out, Berry will drop out, and Pompey will keep his centre spot.
Yeah, they're still a couple of weeks away from coming back, eh? So
Yeah, well, they're all around 10, or I think they're all around 10, 11 for, I think, Fish, 10 to 12 for Dallin, or 10 to 14. And so they're all due back around 10. So not this week, the following week.
Yeah. And I think, to be fair, the Knights, in that first half, the Knights had the opportunities. They just kept fucking it up. They struggled. Even when they had the ball, they fumbled it or tried giving it to the winger who just couldn't hold on to it, kind of thing. Sorry, before I forget too, Jacko's 2 tries, that was just him running straight. Oh, bro's about to jump on.
How good bloody
Kia ora, bro.
No, I don't think.
Sorry, team. This is the bro Carl. We've been mates for over 20 years and very much a Warriors man, through and through. But welcome, bro. Welcome to tonight. We're just checking about the game. Matt, Carl, Matt. Matt's our Queensland supporter. Ripping the Cowboys, bro.
What you were saying just then, Tans, I'd have to agree. Aaron Clark's probably got to be one of the guys of the season for you guys.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think he's actually currently, right now, I think he's probably one of the top locks in the game.
Yeah, he brings such variety to, like, when he punches the line, he's looking for offloads, or he's drawing those defenders in, or he's not only trying to bend the line, he's trying to bust through it. And I just love the energy that Aaron brings. Aaron's he's definitely the best boy we've had for a long time, to be honest. And it's like he's added another dimension to our forward pack.
I agree, I think I love the way him and Egan play together on the field. I just think they really complement each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in regards to Egan, I was listening to, it was Monty Beetham when he was commentating our game, and he said how subtle Egan is with his, just how he's really
his show and go.
Yeah, like he's just really subtle about it. Like, and I thought that was a really good way to explain him and the way he plays. Yeah, but I love them together. I think they do an awesome job, and they really complement each other on the field.
Yeah, nice. What's your evaluation on that first half, Cole? What's your 5 cents more, bro?
I think the last minute changes were really good with Marata coming in and Alafima starting. I think that was actually quite a smart move from Webby to do that. And obviously he explained it with Marata sort of playing front row before, and obviously the game that Licky had the week before was pretty outstanding. So why wouldn't you start a young fellow like that that's got so much energy?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought we were pretty clinical way. I like the way we were targeting Mazu on the high balls. Just getting our defenders up and really not giving him much room to move, because he was one of the big dangers really for
he was fired up that second half, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, KP, he was pretty shut down whenever he'd get the ball, he didn't really know what to do with it. I thought, the Knights didn't even really look like they won the game, to be honest. We dominated that whole 80, I thought, and there was, a couple of tries where we could have sort of gone either way.
Yeah.
But I thought the boys played a really good game, I thought.
Sure. Nice, my bro.
Yeah, I agree. I liked how Rocco was going up to contest the ball, because usually we're not big on that, on contesting the ball under those kicks, on the... But he went up twice. They didn't result in us getting the ball back, but at least he's up there fighting for every scrap, which is really good. Pompey still needs to, he had a great game, but it's like, brother, he done it twice last week as well, and he's great.
When he dropped the ball.
But when he's got open space, when there's no chasers putting pressure on him, he's fine. He catches it. It's when those chasers are right up in his face, and he goes up that. More often than not, he fumbles it. So he's just got to, I don't know,
But yeah, that second half, they definitely came out. Like when Gagai skinned Ali, Leotawa, that was just class, man. And even Dengego was trying his best, but him like Marju, that second half, he stepped up, skinned the centre, and then just set up the try. I was surprised that James Schiller didn't drop the bloody ball and scoring that try. He was having such a shocker. The night swinger.
Oh, he had to catch one.
Yeah, had to catch something, bro. Far out. But that was a good first try to them. There was so little glimpses of them when they do kind of click. They had a little bit of fight back, but it was just inconsistent.
I think even with KP, like what's going on sort of behind closed doors, I think really affecting his game. He's I mean, all season, because I obviously play NRL fantasy and that, and he's sort of meant to be the good buy, but he just hasn't been scoring very well, and even just in general play, he's just not even nothing like what he normally is. So I think what's going on behind closed doors is definitely affecting his game. Not having good halves as well for the Knights. I mean,
they forward pack's not going very forward much, so can't play much of that. It's just playing off instinct, and it's not getting them very far.
Yeah.
Look, I like how they get their Frizzell off, because I don't like Tyson Frizzell when we played him.
Yeah.
Last time I remember him was when Metcalf got injured and was out for the season after their tackle that Tyson Frizzell done. So when they kept them off longer, I was quite happy actually.
Yeah, that's right, bro. Yeah, he's
it's sad because he's such a dynamic player, KP, and just to see him, play like this. But then, I mean, the whole team's playing bad, and people shouldn't be saying, "Oh, well, KP ain't going to win games by himself." So it's definitely. But yeah, he's having definitely a below average season for his reputation and what we know he's capable of. But I think Adam O'Brien's previous choices in his lineup, I think he messed that up by not putting Jack Cogger in the halves and having the halves that he chose previously, because I think there was quite a big difference in their attack, having Jack Cogger in the halves. But they've still got a lot of inexperience in their halves too. Fletcher Sharp, Jack Cogger. I mean, but I hope they get better. I hope they get better, because as a Warriors fan, I know what it's like to fucking just be shit. Continue, like to have
year after year,
to be continuously bad or consistently bad. Sorry, so I do feel for them, but they just got to work on it and sort their shit out.
Put it this way, Tan, someone's got to lose.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm glad it wasn't us. But I'm not so what's that bloody word? Yeah. I'm not really looking forward to this weekend's. Well, I look forward to the games, but I'm under no illusion that it's going to be a hard game, man.
Yeah.
If anyone watched the Cowboys v Titans on the weekend, my God, they ripped the Titans a new one.
Yeah, heck yeah. There was a like I only caught the highlights, but and it actually looked quite close for a while, but nah. Once the Cowboys kicked into gear, it was just like, wow. But it makes this weekend even more appetizing,
Yeah, it does.
It'll be a really good test for us, the whole going up against, because we need those harder games against teams that are peaking and got the confidence behind them, whatever, had some good wins, and it's just like we go up against those teams, and we front the way we fronted for the last couple of weeks. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I agree, Jose. It'll be one of our toughest games, that and the Storm. But you look at the Cowboys have got straight. I mean, God, you got Tommy Dearden, Reece Robson, Scotty Drinkwater out the back. I think Jeremiah Nanai had a fantastic game on the weekend. Same with Murray Taulagi, I thought. And they're two young, fellas on the edges. But it'll be interesting to see the lineup tomorrow, because I've seen a couple of comments in there that DWZ might come back early. I know I know he's still bandaged up, but his cast's off. But they're training, they're all running, training, passing. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. See if Dylan's back.
I'd like Tanner Boyd. Oh, it's a hard one, man, because I'd really like to see Tanner Boyd on the bench. Just with his long kicking game. I think if he came on in the last 20 minutes, or even the last 10, 15 minutes, when the opposite team's tired, their forwards are tired, and just bring him out with his big kicking game, man, and just, I would like to see that, but probably won't.
Yeah. And I think that really feeds into that whole, that stat about the Warriors being the least penalised team. That's an interesting stat in regards to the boys of Webby, Uncle's identified how to go about not getting pinged, because even on review when I was watching that, especially in that second half, I was thinking, the Knights were definitely slowing us down, but we were slowing them down as well around the play of the ball. Because there could have been there definitely should have been a few more penalties called, but they weren't, and they got away with it, but we got away with it as well. So it's I guess it's horses for courses when it comes to whoever the ref is. So that Wyatt Raymond was the ref for us. Yeah, just interesting that there were far more penalties in the first half than there were the second. It was almost like someone had a quiet word in his ear and said, hey, just pull back a bit.
I can't even believe that stat that we're the least penalised game in the competition. That's the first after 30 years. It only took 30 years.
But, us and the Cowboys, how long's it taking you a lot, bro?
But I don't want to go down that road.
And I'm sure you guys have got a couple of premierships too. Jeez. One or two up on us. Right. So it's kind of it's just like even at the post match, when Uncle Uncle was talking about embracing the fact that we're down to we've only got 12 men, and they're drilling in the whole just doing those extras, working for each other, kind of thing. And it's I think it's finally starting to sink in, the whole so when Marata went off, Leo went off maybe 5 minutes later, so that definitely helped to leveled it out, but the boys have already switched on. It's like down to 12, they've got the advantage. Let's just tighten up. Let's just kind of keep them locked down. Whether or not the weather conditions played into it as well. That and just that the Knights couldn't capitalize. Even if they had a 2-3 minute advantage, they were just they struggled to even look like they were gonna score.
You find a lot of teams that go down to 12 men actually fire up and perform better. I know we were
I agree, 100%.
We scored on the Titans when we had 12, they had 13. And then a lot of teams I've seen, I think it was the Rabbitohs versus it was a couple of weeks ago, the opposition was down to 12 and the Rabbitohs just kept trying to go straight through the guts instead of creating an overlap.
Wide.
So there's definitely the teams you notice that fire up when they're a man short, and ones that just
sometimes I think it's actually good, because that's when that's exactly like you see, because teams just take it to another level when they lose a guy, and so it's really good. It's good, and more often than not, the guys with 12 on the field usually do score a try. It's funny.
It happened to us a lot in 2023 when we'd go down to 12 and then score. Yeah. We'd score 1 or 2 tries. It's like, wow, really? That was.
Most of those times it was Marata in the bin again. There's always that one player in every team across the NRL. There's one player that just
can't help himself.
But it's going to be interesting Magic round, because there's a lot of players out. I know the Bulldogs have lost 3. Satilli, Josh Curran, and Matty Burson, I think, even got a 1-game suspension. So that's going to be interesting.
I'm glad the Doggies went down to the Broncos, and not just lost, but they got thrashed.
I'm just looking at Jacko's comment. Let's not forget Sharkies down to 11 beat us a couple of years ago. Jacko, that was probably the worst game for me ever. I just could not believe it. That was shit. But yeah, I love the game. I think it's the best game that we've played this season as a team, as a unit. And just imagine the difference. When we're a full strength team with RTS back, Dallin, Fish, and we're winning games now without them, and they're three of our key players, senior players at that.
Yeah.
What's just a question from the outside looking in? What's the go with Tamari Martin?
I don't know.
Because I would have thought he would have been first choice pick.
Same.
You and me both, brother. And there's a few of us that all think that. I thought he deserved the number 7.
Is he playing Reggie's at all, or is he?
Yeah, he's in New South Wales Cup. But even I was a bit disappointed when he came on last week. He was only on for 20 minutes, but he didn't do anything. But then again, he didn't get any ball either. I don't know if people just but I think his ball playing, everyone complains about his kicking, and it's not good enough. But bro, what he does with the ball in hand and setting up, he's awesome at it. But he hasn't re-signed, so I'm assuming, hey, mate, even this new Bears team might make a play for him.
That's a long way to go.
Yeah, but all he needs is another year. He could go to the club. Yep, give me another, I don't know, give me a pay cut, a couple $100 Gs for next year or whatever, under 200 Gs. And then I reckon they might. I think the Bears might look for him. I think Jerome Hughes is coming off contract as well, but I don't think Jerome will leave the Storm.
That's going to suck for the Warriors when that W18 comes about, because it's it's already 2 hours from Auckland to Sydney. How far is Perth from Sydney?
5.
Well, it's shorter one way than it is the other, so it's going to be the same for us as it is for you guys. We'll still have to connect via Brisbane and via Sydney and then fly over. So I think it's 6 there, 5 back from Brisbane, something like that. It's on the other side of the world, pretty much.
Oh.
Might as well be, bro. But see, that's like an 8-hour flight for us, to get there. And man.
And you guys go direct, I think, sometimes. With the same of us, we've got to connect everywhere we go. So
I love that one, Jazz. Watos Locos is for. I love that. And I just saw where is it? I've lost it now. I just saw. Oh yes, Shot Jazz. Yeah, congratulations to our Harold Mats boys that they are through to the grand final.
Again,
their game was really good on the weekend. Man, we've got some really good young talents coming through our grades. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And I think in regards to those young fellas, if it's congratulations, and it's awesome that they made the GF again, and if they win it, then good on them. But the flip side to that is that just sends neon signs, lights, and all the rest of it to every other NRL team that the Warriors. Our cradle is pretty stacked with talent. When you think of the young fellas coming up, and we're only going to be able to cherry pick the best of them before the other clubs kind of swoop in and make them big money offers or whatever. But it is good. It's good for the club. It's good PR work. I hope those boys get up and take it out, kind of thing, because they've earned it. They've earned it as well.
Yes, Jacko. He was good. Oh my gosh, I was going to say something, but it just totally.
No, that's all good. What's that, Tons?
No, I forgot. But anyway, I'm just so Matt, what do we have to do on Saturday to the Cowboys?
What's the inside juice, bro?
What do you have to do on Saturday? Preferably not turn up and get us 2 points. My concern is our right edge with Ilea and Derby.
Oh yeah. He's pretty bad, eh?
He's I think John Bateman being back in that team on the weekend exposed him a little bit. One where he sort of just went straight through them, and Bateman was standing still. Vilea sort of had an arm grab, and it was those 3 tries that went down that side. Granted, one was full pass, but it was like 6 minutes. They scored 3 tries.
Wow!
That's my area of concern. But and then if it's raining, then I don't know what's going to happen if it's raining.
Jose's got a question for you, bro. How confident are you, Matt? 50 plus again?
Nah, not 50. I'd like 50 plus, but I'd rather do 50 plus to the Broncos than any other team.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm not overly confident. I've learned not to be super confident these days, so I'll take a game that's probably within, 4 to 6 points. That'd be good.
And don't hate on me, peeps, but I suppose because I'm not, as a Warriors fan, I'm not used to getting all these, wins in a row. So I'm sitting here like, mate, I'm expecting a loss to come our way soon. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I just give that to you. But.
Just from what I saw on the weekend from the Cowboys, and their first half Cowboys weren't good in the first half. They were pretty bad actually. They couldn't really connect the dots in the first half. It was in the second half that they done all their damage. But, mate, I think, once again, just shut down their Dearden and Drinkwater, shut them down, and we'll be fine. Because he was on fire, bro. He had 5 try assists. Do you know, I play Supercoach. Dearden got me 138 points. That's how without a try. That's how good he was.
He's... Wow. You know what to expect from him. It's whether the guys around him are going to play the game as well. I'm pretty happy with our edges and like our back row and our forwards and our back 5, depending on if Drinkwater has slippery hands or not. I think we've got strike. It's whether it all clicks. Like I said, the first half was rough. But second half was 38 unanswered points, so we can pile it on if we have to.
It is the Titans, though, so
yeah.
I really liked the Cowboys Anzac Day jersey, bro. I thought that was stylish.
Yeah, they were really good.
I noticed a lot of teams had them on. Is that because they're still home games, or I don't know?
Don't know, like the Manly game. The Manly and the Panthers, they just said it looked just like normal club jerseys. So I was just like, wow, okay. Not all the clubs brought into it this year. Don't know why. I have no idea, but yeah. And what would we played in our home jerseys as well. But like, the Warriors have played in their home jerseys, their away jerseys, during Anzac Day, previously. So it's not like it's not something. I think we've only got maybe 3 Anzac Day jerseys that I can think of. The rest of them, they're either home and away jerseys. So, they were away jerseys. So, it's kind of like, yeah. But I did like the Cowboys ones. I thought they were stylish.
I thought the Knights Anzac strip looked like the Māori All-Stars jersey for...
It did, eh? Yeah, it did, bro.
Green and white,
I did like the green. I thought the green was nice, but when you see the whole jersey and the brown, I just thought, okay. I wasn't sure what was going on. The Rabbitohs had a stylish jersey, bro. They had on the back of theirs, they had this massive, look like the when you're lining something up and it's the target, and it was just like that was cool. I did like the Rabbitohs one.
Storm's jersey were hideous. I was like, bro, what is it with the checkers?
Who was that?
The Storm. I didn't like their jerseys. Greg, hey, don't say that, Tams. Keep the faith and believe in the wise. I do, bro. But I'm just saying, and it's good because when I'm really nervous and I feel like we're not going to win, we end up winning. So yeah, it's actually good when I
think you said that last week too, Tams.
When I'm not feeling optimistic. So,
but to be fair too. the Warriors are notorious for losing those games when we should have won and winning the games that we shouldn't. It's just in our history, bro.
Which was probably the Knights, because I mean, I reckon there was some people that were thinking we were going to lose that game.
Yeah,
I was quite nervous in that game, but as soon as we started, I knew we weren't going to lose. So that was probably a game that people were thinking we were going to lose because obviously they're, I don't know, 13, 14 down the table.
Yeah, that was just
last year when we got absolutely whooped by the Titans, and they, I think they were having their fifth or sixth. They were lost in, a big amount of games in a row, and then they came back and whooped us. So,
yeah,
it just goes to show that any team can win on any day. I mean, the Dolphins even beat the Storm last week. I mean, no one was expecting that. It just depends who shows up on the day and the attitude they bring. Because I think 90% of it's attitude, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be great if either RTS or Dallin were in the lineup tomorrow. I think that's why we're missing a few points too, is because we don't have our outside backs, or our first choice outside backs on the field. So I think we're missing a few points there. I would have liked to get more than 26 points to get against the Knights, but hey, 2 points is what matters, so that's all good.
Yeah, and even
especially for our points difference, because that's quite bad. Our points difference -4,
and
I mean, if we lose a couple of games and those teams below us win a couple, we could go
drop out
below the 8.
If we lose this weekend, we'll still stay in the 8 because, that's up to Broncos and Manly. If Broncos and Manly both win, then we'll probably fall to 6th place. But if we lose, we'll still be in the 8.
We're the same too. We're sitting on a negative points differential because we caught a couple of floggings at the start of the year, but slowly making up for it.
Whereabouts are the Cowboys on the ladder at the moment, bro?
6th.
Okay, so in the 8.
Yeah, it's a couple of shit losses at the start of the year. 3 in a row, and then 4. Lost 3 in a row, won 4 in a row.
Nice. That's a nice turnaround, bro.
That crowd will be something interesting on Saturday. It'll be because there's a lot of Kiwis and obviously in Brisbane, and the Cowboys fans travel quite well as well. So it'll be an interesting.
Heck yeah, and it's Suncorp, eh? So the atmosphere there, even just when the Broncos or the Dolphins are playing, you see the numbers, you see their colours. They really back their teams, and it's just like. But even when we've played the Broncos at Suncorp, you can still hear the Warriors fans chirping away. They're quite provocative. They're quite loud. And it's just like that's
I think you can hear them in most games, to be honest.
yeah. It's gonna be an interesting game, bro. We're playing Saturday. I'm not even sure if we're the first game or the second game, but it's gonna be a good game, bro.
Second game.
Yeah. The other thing that's got me concerned is that between now and our next bye, which is round 15, we've only got one home game, and it only concerns me because the calls have been going our way, because we've had a few home games. So I'm a little bit concerned that the refs might sway the other way. So I just think for the next 5 weeks we need to take the refs out of the game and just play to our strengths and not give them any reason to friggin' take the piss from us. But I'm concerned about that. One home game in 5 weeks. So
definitely.
But they're not,
it is a hard run.
The top teams, so we're fortunate there.
They
last year we played Rabbitohs in Magic Round, Jose.
Oh, okay. Who won that one, bro?
I believe we did. I believe. Yeah. I know last year was a bit rough. I remember talking after last year after we played you guys, and I was pretty because you thumped us.
Wow.
It was looking pretty grim, but then we turned it around, and it seemed similar to what happened with us the year before happened with you guys last year. Sort of having that good year and 23 and fall off 24. It's
yeah, bro.
It can happen.
And it was hard not to get caught up in the hype of that season. You know, everyone was expecting it for 2024. You know, it was kind of like, wow, we could really make a difference, make a real go of it, and just the wheels fell off. You know, and it's kind of like, so say like this season is very much about just trying to hold back a little bit. You know, thinking, we're top 4, round 9 coming up. We're already a quarter of the way through the season, so it's like that's like I didn't even think we'd be in the top where we are. You know, if we were scratching around 11, 10, 9, or even possibly 8 around this time of the season, then we're doing all right. So the boys have definitely exceeded expectations. You know, and I hear what you're saying, Tons, about the whole being on the road. Yeah. It is what it is. You know, if the boys can.
No, for sure. I mean,
but
by then, I mean, like I said, we get our, you know, we get Fish and Dallin and RTS back, and I think that'll just, we'll look real good with them coming back. Real good. I'd still like to see Leka start though when Fish comes back, and maybe move Marata to the bench. Okay. But I'd like to see Leka start and either and forward. So I think that'll cause a change, but I do think Webby's pretty sold on Leka starting. You know, in the second row, I think he's pretty sold on it, because otherwise he wouldn't have done it otherwise. And I remember last year we had these discussions on Warriors Fan TV, and I used to, you know, every week we're like, bro, why is he choosing these players? Why can't he play this guy? And so I think he's learned from last year that, you know, I can't, you know, like I have to make sacrifices as a coach, and other players, you know, that aren't chosen in the 17 have to make sacrifices. And I just love the consistency about us, to be honest. That's what I love.
At the moment, like Uncle's definitely got the mix right, you know, and it's just like if we can just keep it, get those combinations going, you know, because I'd like to think, even though we're one of the smaller forward packs, our forwards generally will hold their own. You know, with the exception of that bloody Storm game, but everyone was falling off, you know. But generally, and going by how they've been playing so far, our forward pack aren't doing too bad. You know, they're definitely holding their own.
I think we've got one of the best forward packs in the competition, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, in regards to form, definitely.
I think we've got one of the best forward packs. Even I actually think our forward pack is better than the Storm's forward pack. The only the Storm's got a fantastic spine, but forward packs, mate, I think we outdo. I think we outdo a lot of teams with our forward pack, especially when they're fit and healthy. 100%. I think it's our back line, because we've, you know, I think it's our outside backs that just need to tighten the screws a little bit in some areas. But other than that, I'm really happy for how our season started and how it's going.
Yeah.
And I think especially with the changes in the backs, because we've had a lot of change outs, you know, centres, wing, fullback. So I think we've adjusted pretty well. But if we could just have that same core team when Roger and Watson get back, it'd be interesting to see how they go. So I think how Webby was saying we're not going to sort of be peaking until about round 12. I think he's sort of counting on that. So when everyone's sort of coming back, and we're going to be
full strength.
You know, had a couple of games.
I think this is about now around, you know, we're a third of the way through the season now, and I think this is when it starts to get harder. You know, like this is when the wins really matter. Anyone's important, obviously, but you know, round 9, a third away through the season, and so I think we can win heaps more games. I think we can win any game, every game. But like I said, it's just I'd like to get more points. I'd like to play another game like when we played Manly and have put 36 on the scoreboard, or you know, a nice 42 or something. Get rid of that and go into, you know, be up, 12 points with 84 PD would be fantastic.
Yeah.
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 Because those matter at the end of the season, eh? And I mentioned this last week, those points differential, they're the difference between making the 8 and not making the 8.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to mention too, like in the post match, like with the Warriors game, just a couple of comments that were made by, and I can't remember which player made the comment about Big Fish, but like Fisher Harris was talking about, we want to build our game on defense, and it's kind of like, yep, that's good to hear. But Wade mentioned, we want to build our identity, and they were talking about identity 2 years ago. The like the Warriors, what is their identity? And CNK mentioned that like we're playing a gritty game. And when you kind of tie those comments together, it's kind of like, so they've identified defense, just staying in the grind, grinding the teams down, staying within reach and stuff. So I don't know if the focus is about trying to blow teams off the park. Part of me feels like Webby's his strategies are very much around taking those opportunities when they do come
like
up.
Him and Serraldo.
And if they finish them, then all good. I don't know. It'd be nice if the Warriors get up, and I'm not talking about this weekend, Matt, but in general, if we were to put 40 plus on the team, then all good. But yeah, I guess the way Webby's running this outfit, he's identified those key areas that we definitely fell off last year, but around defense, just tightening up around the defense and working together as a unit kind of thing. It's like playing to our strengths, because we do have strong defenders. We do have guys that make minimal mistakes, because they're going to make, we're going to make mistakes anyway, but if you can minimize the amount of them, then that's actually a good thing.
We're just getting better as the season goes on.
Slowly but surely, yeah.
Look, we had 13 offloads in this game, and but those offloads, they gained momentum. That second phase footy. That's what like a couple of other games. I was reading the stats today, and we had double-digit offloads in other games, but obviously they weren't at the right time, or they didn't do anything. But in this game, I think that's why we made it up the field as well, because we had a lot of momentum. And those offloads, man, I think Egan, Clark's one that resulted in a try. I think Clark actually, he had 4 offloads. And yeah, I just think it, you're guaranteed meters when you're going into that second phase footy. And I think it's so important because we've been blown away by teams. It happened with Brisbane in 2003 in the semis against the Storm. Like, offloads just killed us. And so it's good to see us take a page out of the book and think, well, we need to start trying to create other ways to attack. And I think we've done that on it didn't all result in points, and that's, we don't have to score a try every time we're down our end, but it just shows that we're thinking about it. We're thinking about plans of attack, and that's awesome.
Getting position back, if it doesn't look like it's on or whatever, or rolling the dice and trying those little grubbers in goal. The boys have definitely sharpened up on that. I was going to mention too, just at the after match, the presser, one of the journos had asked Webby, I don't even remember what the question was, but one of the journos had asked Webby a question, and the way Webby answered him, Webby answered him, but he was going like this when he was answering him. And I was wondering, is Webby trying to drop this guy a hint like fuck you and your question? because he done it for like 3 or 4 seconds, And I was watching it, and I watched it again and again. I was thinking, well, I'm sure he doesn't like that, whether or not that guy picked up on it. yeah, it just cracked me up. It's like all these little read between the lines with Webby. No, you're right.
Matt, who's usually the Cowboys interchange? Cohen Hess,
Hess, Neem.
yeah, that's right.
McIntyre.
Yeah.
And sometimes like Harrison Edwards or Kai O'Donnell or something like that, because they've changed it around. But I'll just put this out there. It's not a Cowboys game without a Griffin Neem knock on. So
Look
to that.
The polar bear.
Hey. No, he's playing well though.
Yeah, I thought because he dropped the ball in the weekend's game, but I thought he negated that really well because he made some nice, hard, solid runs and some nice tackles. But
I don't think we'll have any changes. I don't think we had any people.
Have you got any suspensions? No way.
Suspensions? No.
Yeah, you didn't get it? No.
Nice.
What about injured players? You got any injured players, Matt, or he's?
We had a couple pre-season. So Helam Lukey, he did his ACL, and
is that where he is?
It was Tom Chester, one of the young outside backs, fullback, backup. He did his ACL as well in December at training. Other than that, Braden Burns, but when he started the season on the wing, he did his hammy, and I think he's back in cup.
Yeah, I thought he was quite good actually, because he started on the EJ for you fellas on the weekend.
Yeah, he played, I think, the first 2 or 3 games, got hurt, and then he's back now, but was playing Queensland Cup on the weekend. So
Braden Burns must be. I thought he was playing on the weekend in first grade.
Yeah, he's still playing cup.
Oh,
it's other than that, don't think we have too many injuries.
Okay,
which I mean, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
And we had the disruption at the start of the year with Tom Lolo and his foot that he did in the Pacific Cup. But he's starting to play well again. So
I thought he was solid on the weekend too.
We'll be waiting for the
a solid forward pack, eh?
Waiting for the journalist to say that he's got a problem with Todd Payton again. It happens every year.
And he started too. He didn't come off the bench. He started this game.
Yeah.
So it was because usually he's been coming off the bench for a while now, but he started. So I thought he was quite good.
Hey,
they seem to swap him around and him and Cotter around. So they put Cotter in 13 and Lolo up in 10.
Matt, how far through Jason Taumalolo, how far through his 10-year contract is he, bro?
I think he has 2 left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was after the premiership we won that he got, and he slowed down a bit, but it really, like, a lot of people sort of bagged the deal out. But if he stays healthy and he plays like he is now, because he's adjusted his game from when he started, he obviously he'd like a fleet-footed back row that would just go through, and then
heck yeah.
Now he's playing front rows. Minutes aren't as big, but he's still. I was actually over in New Zealand about 3 weeks ago, and I was watching the Cowboys and Panthers game with my old man up in Whangarei, and just saying to him, every time he still carries the ball, he still commands 4 people to tackle him, take him down. So he's still got that go for it. It's not as but still creating. He'll create an extra play if he can get that offload off. He's got 4 people on him.
Yeah,
he's still a threat.
Yeah,
and we don't want that. I don't want 4 players on him, freaking, on our try line.
Let's get Marata to shoulder charge his head, and it'll be.
I reckon, bro.
It'll take a lot of stopping him, but I like our forward pack. Nanai's another worry. I thought he was fantastic on the weekend, man.
That was his best game, he said, this year. For sure.
Yeah, I agree. He just stepped right up. I think Clark can easily match Cotter. I think actually Clark's probably better than Cotter, to be honest. Not a lot of people agree with me because Cotter's a Origin and Australian player, but I just think the way that Clark's playing at the moment is, like I said earlier, I think he's one of the best locks in the game currently. Because we all know how Isaiah Yo's going.
Yep. How good.
It is. And I think it's great for the game when those top teams lose.
Oh, yeah.
I wish the Melbourne Storm would join them down the bottom. That would be fantastic.
Have you played? You haven't played the Panthers yet, have you?
No.
Not yet, my bro. Not yet.
We've got them at home, eh?
Yeah, bro. I hope we stick it to them, bro.
We've got them after Magic Round again.
Oh, wow. I hope you fellas stick it to them too, brother.
So we beat them away, so hopefully we can do it at home.
Yeah, but lineup will be interesting tomorrow. I wonder if some of our injured boys can make it back earlier. I don't know. I think he seems quite staunch in that, not bringing players back early because, last week when we played the Broncos, right, and Jesse Arthur's got cleared to play, I was like, oh, weird. Why doesn't he do that with CNK? Because I didn't know you could do that. Put in whatever you have to do, put in a request. And I just think that shows he's got confidence in our boys, and the other players, and two, he has our players' welfare, front and center. But yeah, hopefully to see at least one of them back.
In all fairness, though, like if they're sitting, if they're sitting at 90% and your team's on a winning streak, wouldn't you just keep them in there until they're, keep them? Don't change it. Don't change something that's not broken.
Yeah.
Well, Rocco, I thought Rocco came back too early, to be honest.
Oh, I 100% agree with you, Carl.
HIAA, and then even coming back last week, he was. I mean, he was injured and was sort of indefinite at one stage. They weren't sure if he was even going to come back this season.
So I'm a huge Rocco fan, but I totally agree, Carl. I think he needs to go back to Cup for a couple more games just to get his levels back up.
Yeah.
And I think I'm wondering, when RTS and Dylan come back, I don't know, but I think Rocco might get dropped back to Cup and Pompey will stay in at the centres. Which is understandable because and I said this earlier, he can always back up kicker as well in case Lukey, I don't know, stubs his toe or something. But
yeah, I don't know. My gut's telling me if anyone was to get dropped, I wouldn't be surprised if Leotawa gets dropped and Berry stays.
No,
that's
way.
Just me.
No way.
Can't
do that, man. Leotawa's been awesome this season. I mean, he's missed a few.
He was pretty ordinary the weekend gone. To be fair,
I thought he made some great runs. I thought he made some main runs.
He got skinned a couple of times though, even before Dan Gagai got him. He did set up Jacko and he did do a couple of good runs. But
tackles on the weekend, bro. 7.
What's that?
Rocco Berry missed 7 tackles on the weekend.
Oh, he's the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Webby Uncle loves him, and I think Webby's just waiting to get him back out there, really. But that's just me.
I love Rocco. I think he's probably he was one of the best kick chasers in the competition. But I just think at the moment, put him back in Cup. He just doesn't seem. I don't know. He just doesn't seem all there. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. Anyway, to Carl's point, I 100% agree, and I would move him back to Cup for a little bit.
Even meters gained for Rocco was only 72 meters for 80 minutes.
Wow!
So he wasn't really doing a lot.
Yeah,
I did notice him in regards to his kick chases. He was trying to get up there like he used to. Because he was one of our best in that regard. And I don't know if he's just trying to slowly ease his way back into it. Because when Rocco Berry's on, he's fucking mean on defense. He nails the first tackle, nails the second. You can almost guarantee he'll get the second tackle in. I don't actually think he's that too far off. Pending that injury and just how I don't know how Webby wants to manage it. How Uncle wants to, if he's going to keep him out there or just get him to push through kind of thing.
I can't see him dropping Pompey or Ali, in my opinion. I think, never know. He could do. He could put him out there in first grade to help him, get his levels back up. But far out, you just never know with Webby. He's shady as you just never know. He just pulls something out the gate, and you're just like, hey, whatever,
Okay, I'm gonna ask. So for the boys that are commenting in the comments, we'll go for our predictions for this game, for Magic round 8, 9, and round 9. Sorry. What's everyone's predictions for this weekend? What's the weather? Is it meant to be raining Saturday?
Yeah.
How are you using the rain?
Don't know this year.
Okay.
There could be a bit of a worry, if it's raining the whole weekend for Magic round. The state of the ground could be quite.
Not so much Saturday afternoon, but definitely the last game Sunday will be chopped up.
Yeah, especially if it's
I liked in Vegas. This is a bit of a side issue, but the Vegas games, because in that stadium they had like a ground under a pitch, under a pitch, whatever it was, so they could move one out and bring another one in. And I just thought, mate, when rugby league can afford stadiums like that, it's just going to be like, oh my goodness, because the turf that they're playing on is not necessarily grass anymore. It's like, but the fact the Americans have been doing it for such a long time, that wouldn't surprise me if it happened somewhere in Aussie, in Sydney, either Sydney or at Suncorp, where they can, setting up for Magic Round, you have those fake turfs, and it would cost. I can't even imagine how much it's going to cost, but it's I've always thought that's pretty cool, but like in regards to game after game after game for like 3 days in a row, it's going to be like, that'd be a caretaker's nightmare trying to get those pitch up to speed, especially if it rains like the Friday and the Saturday. Like you're saying, Matt, come the Sunday, it'll almost be like the old Suncorp of back in the day when they would play in the mud and shit. It's going to be like, it'll be interesting.
I reckon this will be a close game. Well, I bloody hope so. Close game. I don't know. I reckon like 24-22.
24-22.
Well, fuck, if Metcalf can get his kicking right, 20. Because who kicks Drinky, he kicks the conversions for you fellas. He was pretty solid on the weekend.
What's your score then, Tons? If I lock it in.
Actually, I'm not gonna drop one because I'm not 100% sure. I'm never sure, but okay, 24-20.
24-20.
Cowboys.
Us or the Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, but I just
nice knowing your Tons.
I just think at the moment, I don't think he's icing it unless the boys go right under the sticks. That's the only way we're going to kick all our conversions. But if I'm looking at what the Cowboys did last week, then
What the hell long before they let Pompey kick?
Exactly.
Or Tane.
Oh, Pompey's the one, bro. Just from those halfway kicks, you can tell he's.
Sorry, guys, don't hate on me, but that's just 24-20 to the Cowboys.
Woo! That kind of cut right there, bro. It's just like.
I know. I hate to do it, but I'm just being realistic. That this could be it, but hopefully not. Hopefully, this we win, but that kicking is going to let us down sooner or later.
Right, fair enough. Cowboys, Tons, 24-20. Woo!
Okay, come on, man! Don't hate on me like that, guys. I'm just like, hey, I don't know. Like, if cooking was better, I'd tip our boys 100%. But Yeah.
I'm gonna go 28-16 to the Warriors.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. How about you, Cole?
I was going to go 26. I was going to go 26-18, but I saw it come up in the messages, so I'll go 34-18 Warriors.
34-18. Nice. Sure. That's a big score. Okay, Matt, you're up, brother.
30-20.
Warriors?
Yeah.
Really?
Cowboys.
Yeah.
You're always welcome back, Matt. All right.
I'll jump on next week after and see how we go after that.
Yeah. I reckon.
I think. Yeah.
And if it's too wet, maybe a bit lower score.
No, I know, Des. I know, bro. I hate tipping the other teams. I honestly do. But, you know, if I'm just looking at what happened on the weekend, yeah, bro, they just tear it up.
No, the Warriors are a lot better team than the Titans.
Well, that's true. I'm just, yeah. Anyway, but someone email Webby and let him know to take it all over to Villiers' side.
Is that Villiers that used to play for us?
Yeah.
Is he still at the Cowboys?
Yeah, I can't even believe he's starting, bro, to be honest. Like, I don't think he has any flair on attack or much of anything. Would you agree, Matt?
I think he's got some good late footwork, but he doesn't get early ball.
Yeah, well, that's true. He doesn't.
They quite often go out left instead of right anyway on attack. With Purdue and Talangi and Nanai. But I don't know. I've yet to see him break a game open. I'll put it that way.
I wouldn't be surprised if Villiers kind of earmarks this game for like, I'm going to stick it to these grounds. You know, comes out and just fires up kind of thing. Ex-Warrior, got a point to prove.
Warriors have a good record against Cowboys. We win 5 straight games. Okay, cool.
Sure.
Lose one soon.
I'm just trying not to.
Yeah.
I just don't want to build myself up and then be shattered. But yeah, what's the time?
Yeah. So sorry to the boys in the comment section. I'll write everyone's scores down. I'll make sure we keep them locked in. That's pretty much us for tonight. Thanks heaps for jumping in, Matt. You know, getting a inside view of the behind enemy lines. But yeah, I think you know, come Saturday, I think all the games. I just love the concept of the, you know, Magic Round and like if you're a league, you bought yourself a ticket for the entire weekend, and you just park up in the one seat and just, you know, you can watch every single team play. It's just like, bro.
If you haven't been to Suncorp, it's a party atmosphere even for like a normal game. All the streets around it. It's
wow.
Good
atmosphere. How much is it to attend like the whole like the Magic Round every game?
Prices vary, but I've seen some for like I think it was like 300 up to about 700.
That's reasonable.
Wow.
But then like there's not really any bad seats in Suncorp really.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got really good
to go to a Magic Round, man. That would just be one of my dreams. Yeah.
Well, WazHQ just said Jonathan's cousin. I think he's referring to you, bro. I was going to say you're his uncle.
Yeah, haven't heard that one before.
Thank you.
Thank you
for the chat for coming in and showing up.
Yeah.
Did anyone from last week predict the scoreline spot on? Oh.
Yeah, last week. The closest was, I know I'm saying this wrong, but Nullen and Sink was 28-12. He was the closest.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, I'll get those scores. I'll get all the boys' scores, write them down. But just thanks heaps for tuning in, fellas. We'll I'm not even sure how to end this.
Matt, we should.
Yeah, no, thanks heaps, Matt.
We should have a chat post game too.
Yeah.
Just let us know. Happy to.
But like always, you know, up the fucking wires, go the fucking Warriors.
Warriors all day, baby.
Don't shake your head like that, mate.
Nice to meet you, mate. See you later, bro.